at Durant Road Middle School, in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina. It's The Early Show, starring Sam Rappaport. And now, here he is, Sam Rappaport!
Thanks, Sam. A 13-year-old is retiring from his position with Canada's division of Toys R Us. His job as the chief play officer requires him to play with all of the new toys and video games before they are released to help companies determine what is cool and what is not. Toys R Us Canada is playing this off like it's a mutual decision, but why would he quit that job? The only downside of it is living in Canada. A police officer in California recently pulled over a car to find that there wasn't a driver. The officer pulled over a Google self-driving car for driving too slowly and holding up traffic. I thought going too slowly and holding up traffic was Internet Explorer's job. Oh, this is good. Everyone is talking about Cam Newton right now. In the Panthers' win over the Titans this weekend, Newton danced in the end zone after scoring a touchdown. Apparently a mother in the stands took offense to this and wrote a letter calling Newton egotistical, arrogant, and a poor sport. Let's take a look at the dance.
Reach over, and it is a touchdown.
If she thought that was bad, look at this.
On the other cell phone.
Lastly, we go to the person who is just blowing up everywhere, and that is, of course, Adele. Her song Hello is the #1 song in a number of different countries, and a video of her singing While You Were Young has gone viral with over 7 million views. Meanwhile, this video would be lucky to reach 200 views. So Adele, hello from the other side. She says in her song, I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything I've done. I hope after about the 10th call she added calling too much to her list of things she did wrong. Can you imagine being that guy? His phone was juiced. Anyway, that's all the time we have for the news this week. Sam, it's all you.
So as most of you know, Thanksgiving's coming up next week, and that's why we have a break. But so we had our correspondent, Mr. Clark, go around and ask people a question about Thanksgiving. But what they didn't know is that he never actually gets to the question. In this new segment, we like to call "Get to the Point."
Get to the point! So as you know, next week we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving, which of course is the celebration of all the things we're thankful for, which comes from the very first Thanksgiving, which was celebrated between the Pilgrims and the Indians, who of course met when the Plymouth colonists and Wampanoag Indians shared an autumn harvest feast. That feast, of course, didn't consist of the traditional turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce and yams and green bean casserole and cornbread and pumpkin pie and apple pie and pecan pie or pecan pie if you want to sound fancy, but instead served foods like onions, beans, lettuce, spinach, cabbage, carrots, peas, blueberries, plums, grapes, gooseberries, raspberries, and of course seafood like mussels, lobster, bass, oysters, clams, and I mean, what's Thanksgiving without birds like geese, ducks, and swan? But absolutely no turkey, which of course are indigenous to America and were often confused with guinea fowl, like guinea hens, which are native to the lands of Turkey, which led people to refer to them as turkey fowl, which was later shortened to turkey by the time Navigator William Strickland was granted a coat of arms for introducing it to England, which is not a jacket covered with human arms, but instead is often a shield with an image on it, which contained a turkey in William Strickland's case. But the word turkey was in popular use by the time Shakespeare used the word in Twelfth Night in 1601 or 1602, which was nearly 20 years before the first Thanksgiving in America, and nearly 25 years after Canadian Thanksgiving, which is celebrated on the second Monday of October, and was the first Thanksgiving celebrated in North America, which of course occurred during the 1578 voyage of the great Martin Frobisher, who everybody knows was exploring Baffin Island, which is in the present-day Canadian territory of Nunavut, whose climate is far colder than the Plymouth colony for which the American Thanksgiving took place. So what I want to know is when Thanksgiving occurs next week and everyone is joined together watching Charlie Brown or football, which is a Thanksgiving tradition nearly as old as the holiday itself, which started in 1869 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, only 6 years after Abraham Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a fixed national holiday. And the first NFL game being played in Detroit in 1934 as a way to get people to go to Detroit Lions games, which they still don't do. But what I'm really getting at, what I'm trying to say is, what I'm asking is, how was your Halloween?
It was good.
That's good. Sam, we'll send it back to you.
So Miss Graham's science fair is coming up, so in honor of that, we'll bring out our first guest, Miss Graham herself, Emily Email, Abby James, Gabrielle Phillips, and Jamie Edens.
She blinded me with science.
So Miss Graham, we'll start off with you. Can you tell us a little bit just about this science fair that you have going on?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having us on the early show. We love it here. All the bagels that you gave us beforehand, delicious. We are here to talk about the science fair, which is going to be Friday, December 11th during Gear Up in the Media Center. We've got some really neat projects from first quarter and second quarter, and I have some of the STAR students here today talking about their project that they're doing this quarter.
So they've been working on these for quite a while, right?
They have. They've been working very hard, collecting their data, following the scientific method. So yes.
All that good stuff. All right, so Abby, we'll start with you. What are you researching?
We're researching plant growth and how plants respond to different sodas that we may drink around the house and different plants.
So plants like to drink soda.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's our research.
All right, so why did you decide to research this?
Well, some people can just water plants like differently around the house when we can just water a seltzer, which has been growing the fastest, and
But I heard that water actually works.
water does work, but seltzer works better.
All right. So what steps are you following in your research?
Well, first, we'll obviously research it, and then second, we'll plant the plants. Third, we'll water them, see how they grow, and then graph our data.
All right. So following those steps, right? You're kind of graphing how soda compares to water, right? So why should people come to see your project?
Because I think that it would be really cool that you would water the plants with caffeine and see how it would compare to the water and like the caffeine.
So do you think that plants work like people, and with caffeine they just work better?
Yes.
All right. So what made you choose this topic?
We chose this topic because we wanted to see if the plants would grow with something other than water. So yeah.
So you chose soda.
Yes, because we wanted to see.
Well, we like soda.
So we want to see if the plants like soda.
And what kind of soda would you use?
Pepsi.
Pepsi. I think plants like Coke more.
Tea and
we
Coke
tried
are
that.
practically the same.
All right. Well, you guys have your experiments here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you take me over
All right.
there and tell me a little bit about it. What about these projects?
Well, the reason we think the seltzer is growing the most is because it's carbonated water with carbon dioxide and water, and those are the two things the plant needs to make its own food.
So you think it's like water on steroids, basically?
Yeah.
All right.
This one is the coconut water, and it hasn't grown at all. It's just like made mold, and it hasn't grown at all.
Would you know why, or any possible thoughts why it wouldn't grow?
We might think it's like the ingredients, or maybe the water's been sitting out too long, but we don't know.
All right. And why don't you tell us about this?
Is that the coconut plant?
I think it's the regular water.
Yeah, the regular water, which is the normal one, it still hasn't, well, it's a little budding. Yeah, it's kind of growing, but not as much as the seltzer or the microwave water.
And how long have these plants been growing?
About 10 days.
10 days. So this grew over 10 days. I feel like if you gave it more time, you think the plant with regular water would grow a little more, right?
Yes.
All right, and now let's talk about this.
This is the microwave water. As you can see, it's kind of like budding in there. And it's just like, I guess.
It's kind of growing more than the regular water.
Yeah.
So really none of them except for the seltzer really grew over a short period of time, right?
Yes.
And for those of you who can't see, here's the little plant starting to grow. So, all right, thanks for showing us these plants, and I look forward to seeing them at the science fair. All right. So now we'll take it to Miss Graham, who has some cool science experiments for us. So, Miss Graham, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on right here?
I would love to, Sam. So our unit right now is weather, and we're talking about, with these experiments, I have two separate things. One is talking about warm air masses and cold air masses, and how cold air masses are denser than warm air masses, so they tend to go below and push warm air masses up. So what I'm gonna have you do for me, Sam, is you're gonna pour this blue water, which has some salt in it to represent density, onto this side. I'm gonna pour the red water, which represents warm air, on the left side.
All right.
Okay? We're gonna hope, it is a lot of pressure. I hope the barrier works. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we have our air masses right next to each other. And what should happen, if I mixed it correctly, is when I pull the barrier up, the blue water representing the cold air mass should go down below, and the red water should come up above.
Well, would you look at that?
So you see how there's the two layers?
Yes, that is weather right there, guys.
Weather, air masses, and fun.
Yeah.
With the early show.
Exactly.
So that is that. And then this is something called a cloud convection apparatus.
Big word.
Yep, so apparatus means thing.
All right.
Convection is a transfer of heat, and cloud is because it's supposed to model what a cloud is and how clouds are made.
Yes, that makes sense.
So we have a little bit of water in here because clouds are made up of water droplets, so you need water. And then we're gonna create a little bit of heat because that's how the molecules come together. So what I'm gonna do is if you could squeeze that for me, Sam, and hold that, so that pushes the air that's in there out. I'm gonna create some smoke, and then what you're gonna do is open that, and that should suck the smoke into the apparatus.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Don't try to hum. All right, now we're gonna squeeze this off. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna squeeze the blue ball, and then release, and then squeeze, and then release. Okay, so this might not be working as well as it did this morning, but what's supposed to be happening is when you squeeze it, that represents a high pressure system, which pushes all the molecules out and makes for a clear day. Okay? When you release, that's like a low pressure system, and what that should do is make it cloudy, like a cloudy day.
So high pressure is good.
High pressure is good, it makes for a clear day. Low pressure is supposed to suck those molecules back in and make for a cloudy day. But does not seem to be working.
Well, that's science, right?
That is science, and sometimes that happens. But hopefully we learned something.
Yes.
Weather's a fascinating unit. And thanks for having me on.
So thanks for being on the show, and we'll be right back with Elizabeth Thornton.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being on the show. Special thanks to Miss Graham and her students. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you right after Thanksgiving.
If you'd like to be a guest or a performer on our show, email us at duranttelevision@gmail.com or tweet us at Durant_TV.